All right, so good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this semester for the unit PG 428. This unit will be co-taught by myself together with Mr. Akov. We'll be partnering to deliver this unit, and the purpose of having this unit this way is to make sure we blend academia with the world of our practitioners' view. So we have an academic working together with Mr. Ako is practitioner slash academic as well. If you looked at his latest bio, he has now gone into the world of academia, publishing books and articles, and it's encouraging and really, uh, yeah, encouraging to see him now starting to write and share his knowledge. We need more public servants with the practical experience to share the knowledge with the next generation of leaders and policymakers like you people who are now studying foreign policy and policy making in general. So that's good. We need more, more experienced public servants, practitioners to share their experience. And not only, them, but also us academics, more of us to go into more publishing, reading, writing, doing research and all that. All right, so I'll go straight to our unit outline. And before we go through the details, I'll give Mr. Ako a few minutes to share, introduce himself formally to all of you, digitally or virtually, and then we'll go into the discussion. Mr. Ako, the virtual microphone is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Yegiora, and good morning, Olgata. I'm just excited to be here again in this, I think this is the 6th year. We started off in 21. So this is the 6th year of running this program, and it's exciting because if you didn't know, it was through this program that the PNG's foreign policy white paper was edged and pushed and done. And I say that confidently with no malice or whatever, but it was through this program that it was done. And this year, we are, from this year onwards, going into the future, the lectures and the researches and the presentations we do either here or in other fora will be based on the fact that we now have a foreign policy white paper. So this is like a new beginning for this program going forward. From 2021 right up to last year, we were talking on a what-if basis. What if PNG had a foreign policy? How would we operate? But now we have all the parameters, and I'm just excited because I just came downstairs from a meeting, and the APEC secretariat is now in the process of writing the APEC white paper. That will go under one of the pillars. So that you see that is how the government, the public service system should now be operating now, should now be working. We have a foreign policy white paper with 8 pillars, and how do we go about operationalizing it? But I'm excited. As you can see, I'm based at the Chief Secretary's office now. This time around, I've been asked to come and start planning for APEC 2033. And in line with that, we have outreach programs. So hopefully you will see me there in person. Hopefully one of the lectures will be done in person together with one Q&A session will be done in person at Divine Word. And we have very exciting outreach programs. Hopefully will commence this year, and we will work towards doing it. So when Mr. Yegiora asked me whether I was willing to go one more round, I said, no, not one more round. This is a new beginning. We have a foreign policy white paper now. So we have the scholars here in the foreign policy course who will break it up, tear it apart, and see how well we can do, we can implement it well for the benefit of our country and for our people. So looking forward to the next 10, 11, 12 weeks with you all. And yeah, my pleasure. thank you for the invite again, Mr. Edgar, and thank you, Divine Word. Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Ako. And yeah, very interesting. Good point that Mr. Ako mentioned was the last 5 years we've been operating on what if we had a foreign policy white paper. But over the last couple of days, I've been changing all our assessment tasks because all of them are based on what if we had a foreign policy white paper. But now that we have one, I had to go back and then review the assessment task, and we changed the first assessment task and the second one as well. So we changed it from what if we had a foreign policy to now we have a foreign policy, and then you people will be tasked to look at the foreign policy and work on the 7 case studies and that are derived from the foreign policy. And if you look at the lesson as well, assessment task one, it's based on the 2025 foreign policy white paper. So that's a major shift or change in our teaching. So we operated the last 5 years on what if we had a foreign policy white paper, and we already have one. So it has changed the content and nature of the unit itself. So it's interesting to see the changes happening, and then all of us will be watching closely how they'll be implementing the foreign policy this year onwards. So while I'm logging in to logging into Moodle to open the unit outline, any questions or comments? I leave the floor open. In reference to our second assessment task, you'll see that comments and questions are part of the assessment. So I open the floor for comments and questions. If you have one, just unmute and then either direct it to me, myself, or to Mr. Ako. There's something general while I log into Moodle. So the floor is open.
You have you can see there's a lot of movement behind me and around me because the National Monitoring Board meeting is happening in the conference room. So work's happening. There's work happening. And up here you get to see big board meetings and all, and then the newspaper reports come out a couple of days later or so. So they all happen up here. So we are working. The government machinery is working to make things happen.
Thank you, Mr. Ako. Speaking from the engine room, so it's good to get an update and also to see movements at the back end. We all know. Rest assured that PNG is moving. Okay, if there are no questions or comments, we'll just briefly go through the unit outline. It's there on Moodle. I believe many of you have gone through already. I'll just touch on the points that I think are necessary for me to elaborate further, and then I'll leave it to Mr. Ako if he wants to say something about the unit outline, and then we'll once again open the floor for Q&A. So from my perspective, I think all the information there is straightforward. The unit learning outcomes, we have 3 learning outcomes for this unit. The first one is at the end of the unit, you should be able to distinguish between the different foreign policy approaches taken or decisions made by various governments since independence. And at the end of the unit two, you should be able to determine the different factors at the individual, the state, and the system level of analysis. I don't know whether or not you went through the 3 levels of analysis with Mr. Kumi in third year. But the 3 levels of analysis are very important for us as foreign policy analyst or analyst for that matter. So you look at the individual, and then you have the state and you have the system. So you have systematic factors like the great power competition now between China and the US affecting our foreign policy decision making or affecting decision makers and how they make foreign policy. And then you have the system level where we have the state mechanism and then domestic political pressure. Next year is 2027, the election year, and the Marape government will be really making sure that whatever decision that they make, they think about their political survival. So they will make foreign policy decisions as well, just to show that we're going in the right track, and then they'll use it as their campaign platform in 2027. So that is at the system level, and then individuals, how we think and reason out things and make decisions. So at the end of the unit, you should be able to differentiate the factors at these three different levels. And the third learning outcome is you as an analyst, future analyst, analyzing the merits and demerits of various foreign policy approaches and decisions made by the government. So when you read something in the newspaper, okay, PNG is trying to open a new embassy or new embassy in a particular country, then you start to think, okay, what are the merits of opening a new embassy in Thailand or in Laos or Cambodia? Does it have any significance? Is it in line with our economic interest, or political interest, or strategic interest, security interest? So that's something for us to think about. Or at the end of the unit, we would like you to think in that way, for you to be more analytical and more critical, and then you look at a decision made by the government and you say that, oh, okay, that's merit or no, it's not a good decision. So these are the 3 learning outcomes and a bit of detail about the 3 learning outcomes. And we've for the content, we've stick to the 10 topic plan. So that has been the same since 2021 when we started together. So we have the 10 topics. And if you go back, the important point that I want to make is that if you go visit Mr. Ako's YouTube channel, you'll see that the discussions are there. And maybe for this round, we won't say much. We'll just Mr. Ako will touch on the points that he needs to touch on, and then we'll refer you back to apart from his YouTube channel, the previous ones are on Moodle as well. There's a folder on Moodle that is labeled videos and audios of past lectures conducted or delivered by Mr. Ako. So they all cover the same thing, but for the Q&A, the topics are different. We switch around every year. So for this year, you'll see that the Q&A are related to the topics in the 2025 Foreign Policy White Paper. So for more detailed discussion and a more detailed understanding, you can look at view the videos and listen to the audios in the folder on Moodle, and you can also visit Mr. Ako's YouTube channel at Mangi HB. So if you click there, then you'll be able to go through his videos and then look at the ones related to our lecture topics. Okay, the other point that I want to tip the online participation. So for the online participation, I think the other two assessments are straightforward. I'll talk about the case study after that. But the online participation part is you are last semester it was more about you using the Moodle forum, sharing your audio files in the Moodle forum. But for this unit, you have to during our Zoom session, you have to ask a question, you have to make a comment, and we have it's in blocks of 3 weeks. So week 1, 2, 3. After that, I'll total it. And if you make similar to the regional and international security unit, if you make 5 to 6 comments, you get a mark of 3, and then a comment, 5 to 6 questions, mark of 3, 3, 3, 6. So we have 5 blocks altogether, adding up to 30. So that means you have to plan. The important thing that I want to mention is you have to plan. You have to sit down and you have to plan how many questions you will ask. Go through, like I said, the video files that are on Mr. Akwa's YouTube channel, and then derive questions from there and comments as well. So when we give you the space and time, then you have something to say and you say it, and then we tally that up and we add it to your tally for each and every 3 week block. 3 weeks block. So also apart from planning your time and looking at the resources that are already there, you have to also manage your quota, your internet quota, because the usage of Zoom consumes or uses up a lot of megabytes. So you have to note that on Tuesdays and Fridays we have classes together, 1 hour and 2 hours. So you have to make sure that before the class it renews every night at 12 p.m. So make sure that for the Tuesday class and for the Friday class you don't use excessively your data, and then when it comes to the class period you don't have data to log in and attend the class. But if you're using someone else's uh, user profile or Zoom profile or Zoom user account, then make sure when you're asking questions you switch your screen on or you call your name and something that will help us identify you so we can mark you accordingly. And that's all. And the last one is the case study. There was a question by Damien. I didn't respond via email, but I'll mention it now. I think Damien is in the meeting room as well. The groups, the 7 groups, you have to select your. I will not group you or Mr. Ako and myself. We will not group you like I did last semester. This semester, all of you are big boys and girls, so we will give you the luxury of selecting your own besties to be in one group. So we leave it to you people to select. We have 7 case studies, and I think the class total should be over 30, 35 or something. So, or 38 or something. So then 38 divided by 7. So I leave that to you people to equally divide yourselves and form groups. I think that's all for me. If you have any questions or comments, I can respond, and then expand the conversation so we help each other understand the unit outline. Mr. Ako Henderson, do you have anything to add on to the discussion? Mr. Ako stepped out. So any questions or comments from you people? Anybody with a question or comment? Feel free to unmute and ask. Okay, Mr. Ako is back. Mr. Ako, do you want to add anything to the discussion?
No, I'm happy with the outlines you've done. I just want more interaction from our students. You know, you cannot be very quiet in foreign policy. You know, if you're going to be quiet throughout the semester, then I think you're in the wrong course. Why? The reason is this: because once you join the public service and you are part of the international relations sector, or you are in the PNG Foreign Service, on it, how about you quiet? This is the mentality which we are trying to do away with. It's still happening. You have PNG diplomats going to international conferences and then letting others run the show. And then coming back, and I don't know what type of reports they're writing to their bosses. You can't do that. You could have you would have gotten away with it maybe 20 years ago, or no, maybe 40 years ago. But the thing in the APEC space, we cut it out from 2014 onwards when we were preparing for 2018. You go want them talking points. Show me talking points, Blue. Suppose not talking points, you're not traveling. Sorry. You know, you're spending taxpayers' money. And this is the game. You are in this course. And once you come out into the workforce, and you could be working for a private sector where you will go and attend a PNG Business Investment Forum in Sydney. Huh? Now, suppose boss Blue talk some do a talking points for me and this and go. Sorry, I'm going to attend this meeting with this CEO from this. So you go and talk on there. You can't do that if you're not learning it at this moment. So when we start our lectures, we want everybody to be talking. You know, you look at the economists in APEC, all this who have a communist ideology or who have military background now and then. Man, their life depends on it for them to go and sit and talk about their country's position. Because all no go talk to come back, you never know what will happen. So this is it. You are in a course where you are writing the game plan. And how about you go implementing game plan? I mean, every one of us have played team sports. We go for training and coach patoka. By working most so weekend once we go, you need to talk. You imagine, that the captain is not the only person who talks in the field. Everybody must talk. And why? Because you have a role to play, and all of us have a role to play. So if you're not asking questions, then I don't. That is not right. You need to ask questions. You need to comment. Right or wrong, throw me. This is where we're gonna fix it. So that once you enter the next year, when you enter, a lot of opportunities will open up. PNG is hosting APEC in 2033. No, and we've got a new foreign policy, and we need people to implement it. We need players to play in those games because most of the the public service is aging, and they will need people coming in. And again, you have this. You might not be mentored properly on the job, or you might be mentored, but in a wrong direction based on the priorities floor. The supervisor who's going, he might be pro this, anti this, in this game. So please, once we go forward, be very proactive. Read a lot. Go read. Watch movies. You need to start learning how to read 4 books at the same time. Not 4 plus at the same time, but 4. Reading this. Lucy one chapter. Go read the other one chapter. Turning back. Watch a history channel on Netflix or YouTube. And then sit down. When we watch rugby league games, NRL, everyone watches NRL from Thursday until Friday. which is one of the reasons why me and Mr. Aguirre always make sure that we stop at 4 o'clock on the Q&As, because you must go really watching Broncos play or yeah. But have you ever wondered how much goes into preparation for the team in the week leading up to the game? We are watching the outcome. We are watching a game plan being performed for 80 minutes. And that game plan is like the Titans foreign policy on how to win this weekend, on how to win next weekend, or how to be successful this season. The Titan management and board sat down together over the off season. All writing like what we will be doing. All writing game plan. Okay, this is how you will win. Now let's go out and get the players now. So they went and contracted the players to come and implemented foreign policy this year. Unfortunately, they're not doing very well because the other economy's foreign policy is much more tougher. They might have more bigger players, more people who read a lot, so they understand the currents and the trends that are happening. All those things. Which is why I'm saying you must read a lot. You must read all the time. And Mr. Aguirre said in his opening, when you're reading a newspaper article and they says that PNG is opening up a mission in Laos, your first thought would be going back to the foreign policy and checking the 8 pillars. Is it written in the 8 pillars? Yes, it's written. What pillar? Okay, and what does this pillar say? All those pillars have to be, strategies must be written for those pillars. It's all 8 pillars. It is an unfinished job of having the foreign policy and the pillars, the 8 titles with nothing in them. The onus is now on the leading department to go ahead and write 8 papers explaining how we should move with those pillars. So I'd like to add on to what Mr. Aguirre said, that we have to be more proactive, and also note very well that he mentioned that the YouTube channels are there with the lectures and PowerPoint, those will change also. With the new foreign policy, we have to change the PowerPoints now. So we'll have a more exciting, more vibrant discussion point. And I'm a bit more pro academia now, not because I want to move in the direction. No, I'm a bit more pro academia. And you notice one of the courses, one of the lectures will be academia versus practitioner. I think that the academia has more influence in influencing foreign policy. I mean, you look at the Chinese. I just went a couple of weeks ago to Guangzhou to present one of the papers, a deep paper that will now be the foundation upon which PNG will use to drive its policy and program agenda for 2033. And what the Chinese colleagues told me is that every year, President Xi Jinping convenes a couple of academia conferences to determine his international relations agenda. You look him. So the academia also go on and they lay things out before him and his advisors, and then he gets those things and then he puts them into the foreign service machinery. And whatever comes out in the end is what him and his ministers and officers gonna drive him. So I don't think it's an equal playing field anymore. I don't think one lives up the strength of the other. Of course, most developed economies, they also have practitioners who are doctors, who have research backgrounds. So it makes it easier. For our case, we cannot emulate them. We are Papua New Guinea, and we have people who are operational and people who sit and read and do research. And note very well that the academia are the backbone, because they're the ones who are trained to do research, not the practitioners. When you look at which we will discuss along the way, when you look at all these meetings, you see a meeting, international conference, and you see someone speaking on behalf of Chile, talking really eloquently and with data and information about climate change. Or that is not a foreign service of climate change. Magi Blole or foreign affairs Simol Kamla Sinalo talk represent PNG and talk about this, which is why we have to be on the ball. Whatever little time we have, read a lot, and widen your horizon of thinking. Because when you become a diplomat, you need to know a lot of things. When you go into a reception, you need to know tons of topics. Once that Peruvian you are having a glass of wine, we start talking about soccer. You should start talking about soccer. I mean, of course, me know what you welcome, but to refer to a game, you talk about play all same, or no, just to break the ice, and then you from there you go on to politics, and then climate change. All the other things which you must have. No, that's unfortunately that's the role of a diplomat. You must be Mr. Know-it-all. If you're a diplomat and you don't you only know 10% of it, you all the other economy should kill you. So that's my legal advice. Please read a lot and talk a lot, ask lots of questions, and always note things down. Note things down, huh? Note him things down so that when the session ends and it's time for Q&A, then you have an opportunity to read what you wrote. And that's all, Mr. Eger. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ako. Yeah, that's all. The floor is open. We have 30 more minutes before we end the session. So the floor is open for questions, comments from the people. Anything about the unit outline or anything about what Mr. Ako is doing and myself. Fidelis, go ahead.
Mr. One question. Please, could you please clarify the deadline for task 1 weekly activity? Is it possible to complete this task at any point during the week between Monday and Sunday midnight? Anytime between them? Or it's only when the task is, the lesson is open back there? Thank you.
Okay, for the lesson. You said that our case study is China PNG bilateral relations, and the duration is two hours. It's open for the whole week from Monday to Sunday. It's open, so anytime between Monday to Sunday, you can select a 2 hours time period or time slot, and then you attempt the lesson. So it's open from Monday to Sunday, but maximum time allowed is 2 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fidelis. Anybody else with a question or comment? So just a reminder again, you have to ask 25 questions and make 25 comments in the 45 hours that we'll be seeing each other online via Zoom. So, like I said, you have to start now and prepare yourselves. Go back and have a look at what we have on Moodle, and then come back. And if you have any doubts, you need any further clarification and all that, then it has to be orally or verbally and not in written form. That's one major criteria if you look at the learning guide. So you have to ask your question. You have your video on or you put your video off, whichever, so long as you ask a question and you make a comment. So we thank Fidelis for breaking the ice. Anybody else with a question or comment in regards to the unit outline? What we'll be doing this semester, your expectations this semester, what you want to learn more, anything about.
Mr. Aguirre, Mr. Lai scoring 1 point penisa, lo, this la 25, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
one mark, one.
24 more to go.
Well, his question now he has 1 stroke already, so I'll keep a tally on the number of questions and comments that you made. All right, questions, comments from people? You'll notice that if you compare the unit outline, I believe all of you have a copy of the PSD. You'll see that there's a difference because we updated the unit outline. We have a bit more readings or literature on our reading list for this semester because of the lesson and because we've come across new published material, so we've added it to the list compared to the unit outline that is on the or in the PSD, the program specification document. And we've made changes to task 2, that is online participation. If you look at the PSD, the previous unit outline, the second assessment task was a review quiz or review test. So after Mr. Ako gives his lectures, then we go back and we review and then we give you a quiz based on his lectures. But now we've changed that into online participation starting last year. And that was because many students they know that we will upload the recorded version on YouTube and they'll watch later. So attendance has been poor over the years. We've monitored that not many students they attend the live session and they do download the video that we share. So now we're encouraging all of you to participate in the live session. So at least you have the opportunity to mix and mingle, talk to Mr. Ako, learn from him. Like he said, when you go out and go into the public service, not many people will, people of his caliber will be there to mentor you. And now you have Mr. Ako, who's a very experienced public servant. So, any questions you have about the Foreign Service, about the department itself and his experience working in the public service, it's a good opportunity for you to ask and then you draw from his wisdom and his experience. So when you go out there, then you already know some things about the public service, so you can build up from what Mr. Ako has shared with you. So the public service is another beast, different machinery altogether. So some people out there, when you go in, they feel threatened and they will not share anything that they have with you, the experience and the skills and the knowledge. And this is a good platform where you get to talk to Mr. Ako and you get him to share his experience with you, ask him questions and comment and all that. So in that way, you learn from Mr. Ako as well, from both of us. So when you go out into the field or leave this university and the program and you go out, then at least you have a good understanding of the public service as well as academic resources, how to do analysis of briefs and all that other necessary things that you need to add to your list of soft skills and knowledge that you have. So yeah, that's something for you to take note. Questions, comments? We have around 15 minutes remaining. It's 11:14 going up to. Free to just unmute and ask a question if you have a question or comment.
I mean, just maybe just a reminder to all of us, me included too. We'll have to have a proper read of the foreign policy white paper also. And by me go find him. I saw a couple of copies hanging around somewhere, so me go find him past them. Read him to educate me too. I mean, for me, at this stage, I have a tunnel vision now. With the foreign policy, I'm going to go straight to the multilateral pillars or the other pillars that cover our line of work, and then just concentrate on that. Pillar and work blow. Oh, and also maybe go through the a good summary would be watching my MTV in Focus. I think it's in focus number 3, I think, or number 3 or number 8. I did 2 months ago. They did the MTV in focus producer asked me about my thoughts on the foreign policy that was coming out, and I gave it's 30 minutes, so you'll get a good summary from there too. Let me try and find him too, and I'll see if I can be able to put the link here for you guys to watch later. I'll provide the link also. Let me find him now. But I did post it on my LinkedIn channel, LinkedIn also. So if you go to my LinkedIn, I think you will find the link also there. Have a read on it, because I think I said it without fear or favor on how I think the next steps should be on the foreign policy white paper, and I am still of the opinion that there must be a big engagement, domestic engagement, and to mark out the pillars on who sat by which departments and which sectors will be responsible for progress in that pillar. Unless those pillars were just put there purposely for some magic to happen out of thin air and come up. Still a lot of capacity building required. For us in APEC, we've gone ahead and commenced training, doing an introduction to APEC Certificate 1, which I wrote. I wrote the program, and I've already taught it to two cohorts, the 8 APEC Secretariat, the young officers, and then another young officers from Policy 1 of this department. And I had 20 in August first week. August first week for 5 days. So in between that, I'll excuse myself for an hour, and then 2 hours on Friday to continue discussing. But I have 20. So, and we are also working hard through our bilateral means to find pathways for them to do residence. I think they call them residencies, Mr. Ego, residencies in foreign universities.
Yeah.
So it would be like Certificate 1, going for residency, Certificate 2, going for another residency, Certificate 3, and then Certificate 4. By the time you reach Cert 4, you'll be doing simulations of the APEC leaders meetings and negotiation, bilateral engagements, and all those things. So those are taught from a practical point of view. So we are driving that now, and we just hope that we get traction. And the beauty of it is that only those who do Certificate 1 run in-house by us will attend those engagements in the maybe Guangzhou Uni, at Adelaide Uni, at a Japanese university. So why we are bringing them all around the region is to ensure that our forensic, our PNG diplomats who come out after 2033 have a global view, a balanced global view, not one-sided. And with that balanced global view, then we can know how to drive the 8 pillars. Well, anyway, by 2033, 35, it's 10 years after the launching of the foreign policy. So maybe a mini review should start happening, or reviews to, Mr. Aguirre, we need to find out how discuss this semester on when is a review okay to happen. Should it be done annually or biannually, or because the world is changing at such a fast pace that we might require us to look at some of the pillars and maybe adding more pillars, or Rausim Sampla pillar, joining Sampla pillar, one time, all those. So those things are there. But the good thing is that we have a foreign policy and we have a game plan. Now is like what a good example, a good fine example is the PNG chiefs. They wrote out their plan. We have a plan to participate in 2028 onward. That's a foreign policy. And then they're going out and getting the players to implement that foreign policy from 2028 onwards. Note very well that there will be 16 other economies to deal with different strengths, different backgrounds, and all that. And you need to plan it accordingly. That was the reason why I said that those 8 pillars must be written out. There must be papers written for those 8 pillars. Those 8 pillars must be conference, must have seminars for them. So we must have papers for those 8. We must have 8 papers, which the academia and practitioners will use to implement. In those 8 papers will mark out the action items on what to do, the activities to achieve those 8 papers or 8 pillars or 8 strategies or whatever it is. So the APEC Secretariat in this department is going ahead this month to go into the multilateral pillar, and then from under multilateral pillar they will write a white paper on APEC. That's one way of institutionalizing that stream. Saying that under APEC, this is how you would do it. Not a white paper on APEC 2033, no, a white paper on APEC. So you will realize that our foreign policy on APEC, which was endorsed by cabinet in 2020, now will become a strategy under that multilateral pillar. Under APEC, under that multilateral, there will be another mini pillar on APEC, and that foreign policy will be revised, and it will. So when you your lot join the workforce, then you can on APEC you will just go straight to the document, get it. This is how we will play in APEC. So once you go to an APEC meeting, you carry the document with you, and then you merge it with whatever agency you are representing. If you are from the Department of Agriculture, from Health, you merge it according to that, and then you're gonna talk. Look him, you're gonna talk. You're gonna pass him mouse and a nod. And then bien come out, pass him to Papua New Guinea, go pass him mouse, come outside, no complain. Too bad. Why not we still go finish the game over? Raiders win finish, yeah. So, and in order to talk, you must be well prepared. And as we go along, as we go along now, when the Q&A time comes, the Q&A is something which you should all take notice of, because the Q&A is like a multilateral conference. All of you are sitting around, and then someone is talking. And while that someone is talking, you're also making your notes and adding on to what you'll be talking about. So time you talk, you'll be saying, well, I refer to what Mr. Aikung said. Mr. Aikung said this, but I have a different idea. And my idea is based on it. And I also agree with what Mr. Lai said. That's how they do it in APEC. And once you start making reference to people and all comments, that is not diplomacy, but that is courtesy. That person you're making reference to is happy to know that you are him talk blame. And you have an ally there. So next time you want to seek support on something, support for your proposal or what, you go look him in the story and by supporting you. Why? Because you gave him respect by listening to him and making reference to him. So from Friday onwards, don't just concentrate on what you wrote, or what you'll be. Don't just concentrate on the question you will be asking. No, pay respect to what the other said too. Me agree one time. Oh, no, sorry, Mr. Aikung, I will beg to differ from your idea. I'm wrong. According to Tintin Blomi, this is how I think. And in that way, you will give Mr. Aikung some, okay. Me not thinking just this language. So in that way, you are a team, and you are helping yourself. You're helping yourself this year to work together to achieve a common aim. And the common aim is to graduate. And note very well that to pass this course, this is a teamwork course. I need you, you need me to make it happen. So the only way to make it happen is just multilateral diplomacy now. You rely on this other speaker, that other speaker relies on you, you rely on this economy, you support this economy, this other economy will support you, and you move together to achieve that multilateral goal. So this is a good practice ground for multilateral diplomacy, especially on Fridays. Fridays, when we start talking, that is multilateral conferencing. Everybody sits around with different ideas, and they start talking, but pay respect. This line also, there are ways to use fine-tune him talk. I mean, all big much talk, fine-tune him talk pitching blue. So this like you talk, agree with him, you change him, put your name by Amma so that although you agree with him, you support him. And me no agree, maybe if you thought about this, add him on to and by help him point blue. I don't know how you play, but talk, but that's how it is, that's a Melanesian way also. So this year is going to be all exciting for us. I'm also happy to, and I'll also add this from Ivan Cleary. When Ivan Cleary was going on to the fourth pit, he was already writing the last chapter, another next chapter. So after all winning Formula 1 and it went for publish, he said this in his last chapter of the new book, well, his current book, but they made him not a chapter going to for Peter. So it's the same cover, but different color. So in his book, he said, I look forward every year to the arrival of new players. And I was surprised, and he continues, I look for every year to the arrival of new players because I look for to learn from them. They are bringing in new ideas, which will help me coach. See, so, and that's teamwork. That's teamwork. So we're looking forward to a very exciting year this year. And by the end of it, we should all learn multilateral diplomacy. And hopefully, if things go well, there will be some simulation exercises, which we are working on, happening with targeting Divine Word and UPNG to work on those. So those are plans in progress now. We'll see if they materialize as we go along. So thank you very much, Mr. Aguirre. I'll stop there and I look forward to next week's. Now, sorry, are we having Q&A this Friday? No, not yet.
Yeah, this Friday I was going to close with the activity, what we'll be doing this Friday. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ako, for that. So for this Friday, before we let you go, we have 4 minutes. We'll do an activity, and there are 3 questions that you'll answer during the activity. The first one is, who are your group members? For the case study, we'll work on the case study. Who are your group members? What is the rationale for selecting your case study? Why you selected this case study? And what is your game plan? How will you go about doing this assessment task? So these are the 3 questions that we'll be asking on Friday. Who are your group members? So when you come for the 2-hour class period on Friday, make sure you come with a list of people who will be with you or who are part of your group. And then you'll make the selection. So on Friday, we'll make the selection, and that will be your case study for the semester for this particular task. So who are your group members? What is your rationale for selecting this case study? And what is your game plan? How will you go about completing the assessment task? The third assessment task. These are the 3 questions that we'll be asking on Friday. So we'll start off with the activity, and then we'll give you time. Once you form a group, you let us know, and then we'll ask you to present your rationale and your game plan for selecting the case study. So we have 7 case studies, which are derived from the Foreign Policy 2025 Foreign Policy White Paper. So you have to read between now to Friday, you have to go through the Foreign Policy White Paper. All of you have a copy of it, the PDF one. So the first case study is Strategic Bilateral Partnership Prioritization. And the scenario is there, the problem and the research question, key agencies and stakeholders to consider. The second case study 2, PNG's multilateral engagement and our ASEAN aspiration. I know Mr. Ako has a different opinion about that, but we leave it to people to decide whether we should pursue the path on joining ASEAN or not. That will be up to the group to decide. That's the third one. And then the second one, the third one is Border, Maritime and Cyber Security Cooperation. The fourth case study is Economic and Commercial Diplomacy for Trade, Investments and Jobs. The fifth case study, Development Cooperation, Coordination and Aid Effectiveness. And the sixth one, National Branding, Soft Power and Public Diplomacy. And the seventh, the last one, is reforming DFA and strengthening the whole of government foreign policy coordination. So these are the 6 case studies. And on Friday, when we meet, you'll come up with your group members, and let us know your rationale for selecting which case study you'll be selecting, and then what is generally your game plan going forward. What would you do to work as a group to complete the task? So that's all. It's 11:30 and we'll stop here. I thank Mr. Ako. Thank you very much, Mr. Ako, for making time available out of your busy schedule to join us for this. session, and we'll meet again on Friday. And I thank everyone as well for joining us.
See you all on Friday. Bye.
Thank you. See you on Friday. So, Emtasol, you all have a great day. Bye for now.